This is Rob Liefeld. Kai Review is going down.
Hey guys, just finished watching Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 6, Episode 7, Toldja. What an interesting episode. So again, this show, I really like this season. I like the way that things are going. I'm disappointed that it's still not connecting to Infinity War or even Endgame. And these, if I'm not mistaken, this Season 6 and I'm assuming Season 7 will all take place before even Infinity War. So it's kind of getting me pissed off that they're so late behind within the movies, but I'm going to try not to rant about that too much. So getting into this episode, on this own, this episode is really good, but like I said, connected to the movies would be really cool. So the story of this season is still very good. I still like this story, and they're doing a lot better when they're doing these shorter seasons instead of having to take these, when they're trying to do 22 episodes, it feels like they're just trying to stretch things out and they don't know what to do with it, whereas now they're much more condensed seasons and they're way more easier to follow, and there's no more filler episodes, and it's very well done. So in this episode, we have Fitz and Simmons. They're kind of stranded on Kitson. We saw last episode that they kind of left and were kind of they teleported away with Enoch and stuff. They ended up on Kitson, and they didn't know how to use a teleporting machine. We see that we found out that Deke didn't know that Fitz actually died, and they were going to look for another Fitz, and Deke's all mad that he wasn't on that mission, but Mac is just like, you left. If you'd stayed around, you would have been here to see all that, and we could have told you, could have sent you on the mission, but you left, so it's kind of on him. So that was kind of cool dealing with that. See Fitzsimmons end up getting saved from decapitation by there's some girl with short red hair, and it seems like she says that she wants to bring them to Earth and stuff, so that'll be interesting to see as to where things go, but it seems like sounds like she's going to be the destroyer of worlds, or the thing that's going to destroy the Earth that everyone's been talking about. Yeah, she's the creator that Sarge is telling everyone to be aware of. So I think that's obviously going to be interesting to see as where things go with that. And then we find out that we see Jocko ends up, they've caught Surge and Jocko and the other girl. I think, what's her name that he has? Snowflake. Yeah, they've caught her. They've caught Jocko and Surge, and Jocko ends up, he's kind of sick and he ends up breathing fire and stuff, so that's interesting to see. It's unclear if he's kind of dead now after Daisy, blasted him, but that'll be cool to see as to where things go with him if he becomes a dragon, as she says. That'll be quite interesting. We see that there are two kind of end up, we have May and Yo-Yo end up going to get two Shrieks. They each go get their own Shriek. I guess these Shrieks are trying to get together or something, but they put them together in one containment unit, which was kind of silly. I guess they had two different containment units. We didn't see, May had the big bus, she was driving that, and then Yo-Yo had a little Quinjet, so May already had one of them in that little containment unit, right? Okay, makes sense, but, why? And I don't know why, if you're going to have that thing in there, and they know it can, it can expand and destroy places and stuff. I guess May wasn't there. Actually, May wasn't there for that. But still, she would know. She would have been told about what happened to Agent Keller and how, if Yo-Yo hadn't stabbed it, it would have kind of done that crystallization thing to the building was gone, right? So I think that would have made more sense to hold that containment unit, just hang it upside down out of the, or just hang it out underneath the bottom of the bus as they're flying around. Now, obviously, we know in retrospect that was not a good idea. At least Serge said, no, that you drop that thing, it'll just consume more lives, right? But maybe she had just but not knowing that beforehand, just hanging it on the outside of the bus would have seemed like a safer option. So it's easier to just drop it before knowing that would not have been a good idea. So that was interesting there, and then so I'm assuming we don't see how how Yo-Yo had them contained, how Yo-Yo had her Shriek contained on her ship, but bringing the two together was kind of a silly move since they were trying to do that in the first place, right? So that was just kind of silly that they'd put those two together. I don't know whose idea that was. It was kind of really silly there, and it didn't kind of make sense, but well. And then at the end, we see that everyone turned to Sarge, as he, since he saved the day and told them that, freezing them out would have stopped them, right? So that was kind of an interesting idea. He obviously predicted that, so that'd be cool to see as to where things kind of go with this storyline with him and how things kind of turned out with him looking like Coulson and all that stuff. That'd be quite cool to see as to where things go. And then we end the episode with Enoch saying goodbye to Fitz and Simmons as they're heading back to Earth. Although his mission is done because they're found their safe passageway there, but at the same time it feels a bit like, really, like he doesn't know for sure that they're not going to betray him. Maybe he's analyzing this person who's bringing Fitz and Simmons back to Earth type thing. But it just seems like, why would he trust her to bring them to there? Wouldn't he want to bring them to there? Like, his mission is not necessarily done until they're actually there, because they could betray Fitz and Simmons and just kind of throw them out the airlock, right, at some point, and just kind of, she could turn on them, right? It seems a bit weird that just because they have safe passage, kind of, or looks like they have safe passage to Earth. We'll have to wait and see as to kind of where things go. It seems like, Enoch should stick around to kind of help with that, but then again, he wants to help his own race. So that'll be interesting to see as to where things go with that. Fitz gets a communication device to call him up later. So I don't know. I think Enoch is an interesting character. I don't know. I'd like to see him. Obviously, it's at some point in the end of this season, they're probably going to use that. Or it would be really awesome if they waited until like this time next season, and like the end of next season, call Enoch back, and that would be quite interesting. By then, people would have forgotten about the character. Let the audience completely forget about the character, and then at the last minute next season, call him back. That would be really cool. Have it like, I think we're getting like 13 episodes this season. I'm assuming around the same for season 7. So around, I don't know, episode 8 or 9 for next season, call him back. I think that would be quite interesting to deal with that, and that let us kind of forget about the character instead of he's just too fresh of a character. And what's the point of not having him in a couple of episodes just to bring him back at the end of this season? It seems too predictable to do that. Whereas you wait way longer, and then it becomes way more like, oh my god, yeah, I completely forgot about that character type of thing. So that'd be way cooler to see that. So all in all, I'm excited to see as to where things go. Still always a bit bummed, always very bummed that this is not connected to the movies more. But we'll have to just wait and see. And hopefully, with the Disney streaming service and all that stuff, I'd love to see this show just kind of ported over there, just so that Kevin Feige could have a little bit of a say, or just so that they could, be able to ask Kevin Feige what's going on in the movies, and they can give them the cliff notes of what they need to know from the next movie, that how it could affect their show, how would it affect everything, that would be really cool to see that. Maybe getting Sam Jackson for like a scene in every beginning of every season to kick off their storyline, because I really would like to see as to where things stand between Nick Fury and Mac. If Mac is the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., what is Nick Fury? What is his position? Is he, if he's not the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., was he Alexander Pierce's Robert Redford's position? Is he the secretary of S.H.I.E.L.D. now? Has he gone up that part? What really is the positioning here? I like to see that connection here, and I don't feel like we're going to get that. I would bet a lot of money that we're probably not going to get that in Far From Home. So we'll have to wait and see as to where things kind of go with all that in the future. But let me know what you think, guys, about this episode in the comments below. Season 6, Episode 7. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
We're here for Kyle Reviewed on YouTube, the very best Kyle Reviewed channel on all the YouTube Kyle Reviewed channels. You got that? You got that right? Thank you for watching Kyle Reviewed. Deadpool and I thought it was fantastic. You need to like, you need to subscribe. You know how it's done. Like, subscribe. Right, DP? All right, Kyle Reviewed. Cool channel.